we are on Generation Female Global Summit. And let me introduce to all our attendees around the world, as I say, really gorgeous women who find out time to stay with us together. Sasha Camperio, she's Global Communication Director Borsalino. Silvia Damiani, Vice President Damiani Group, President Venini, e Presidente e Amministratore Delegato Palieri SPA, Deborah Palieri. So, buongiorno, hello everybody. I'm really happy to see you and hear you and spend our time together on Roundtable. Today, our Roundtable is dedicated to women leadership in heritage brands. So our objective of Roundtable for this panel is to profile the experience of women leaders in legacy, heritage brand, and family businesses. So I would like to give you a few words. Maybe you can introduce also each other and few words. Sylvia?
Eloana, well,
Sasha? Okay, Sasha.
Okay, the same. Eloana, thank you very much for having us today for this roundtable. We are very proud. I'm Sasha Camperio, and I've spent a big part of my career working for heritage brands, such as Omega, for instance. And I worked in the communication environment from PR to events. And when my brother, with a group of private investors through a private equity company, bought a Borsalino brand and its activities with the objective to develop it internationally and strengthen its role in the world of artisan luxury, it was perfect opportunity for me to join him and the brand in this adventure, since my background was pretty well suited for this challenge. Borsalino has been created by its founder in 1857, Giuseppe Borsalino. It's an Italian hat brand, icon of the made in Italy, and it's been there for 163 years, and all the hats are manufactured in Alessandria in Piemonte.
Grazie, Sasha, grazie. Ladies, who is next now? I don't want to...
Okay. I am Silvia Damiani, and I am the Vice President of Damiani, the Damiani Group, which is a jewelry company that belongs to my family since the beginning. My grandfather, Enrico Grassi Damiani, was the founder, and he founded the company in 1924. Then my father, my mother, and nowadays myself and my two brothers, we are in charge of a different section of the company. Personally, I take care of all the PR activities and the VIP relationship in the Damiani Group. And very recently, just 4 years ago, my company also decided to buy a very special heritage brand, which is Venini, which is in the field of artistic glass and based in Murano, which is a little island near Venice. And it's really an excellence in that. And for this company, I am also the president of Venini. I am mostly in charge of what is the creative part of the image for Damiani. In Venini, which is a small company, I am in charge also of the creative in general, so also with all the relationship with our designers, artists, which collaborate with the brand.
Grazie, thank you, Silvia. Deborah?
Good morning, and thank you for this kind invitation to this roundtable in honor of women. And my name is Deborah Palieri. I am CEO and president of Palieri SPA, which is a very historical and family company, because it was founded in 1876. And so I represent the 5th generation. And my company manufactures and markets beauty care products, and in particular for personal care and laundry care, with the main brand Felce Azzurra, which is a very historical brand. And we are located in Alessandria, Piemonte. And our history is very long, and in particular we are in 45 countries in the world, and we covers the 90% more or less of the domestic market with our products. So in Italy, this brand is very important. We have our turnover is more or less 150 million euros, and our employees are 150 units.
Fantastic. And we just discussed about Borsalino, Damiani, Pallieri are long-lasting heritage brands, which is really riches history and legacy. So I have a question to all of you. So what challenges have you faced during your career or during the managing these brands? And also, I think it's very important to hear your experience. How have you overcome these challenges?
You have to start.
You have the honor.
You have the honor.
Have to start. For me, the biggest challenge when I started at Borsalino was, to break a little bit the image of the PR girl walking around the party with a glass of champagne and saying that, we had to also prove a lot and make the extra miles. Mistakes were not allowed at the beginning, but actually Borsalino is a fantastic brand. It's a gem in terms of history and know-how, and its legacy, it's incredibly rich. So for a communication responsible, it was a real treasure to explore. And doing this, I've discovered that the story of Borsalino were made of great entrepreneurs, for sure. That there is a saying that says, behind each great man, there is a great woman. And although men by that time were holding the official roles in the company, we have many stories in the stories of Borsalino of women who made contribution to the company also because they were skilled. So that was interesting to confront.
Well, first of all, I started working in the family company because I was very curious to know what my father and my mother was doing most of the day. I was so impressed about the passion that they were putting in their job every day and all the energy, and I wanted to understand it just with the direct experience. So I first decided to start working because I wanted to get this mood, this sensation. And I can say that the passion that my parents have for their job was really contagious. And this happened to me and also to my brothers. Personally, being a woman, it never was a problem for myself, also because probably dealing with jewelry, it was also an advantage. And in our company, since when it was founded, the majority of our collaborators, employees are women. The 70% of our employees are women. And it has always been important also to have my point of view, because the jewelry are for the 95% of our production for the women. So also it is important. During the years, I think the biggest challenges and let's say the biggest changes that happened to my life and also to the life of the company was for sure the moment when my father died, and he died in 1996. And I was nearly 30 years old. I was already working in the company since 10 years. But it's completely different from one day to the other, because unfortunately he died on a car accident. So my brothers and I, we really found ourselves with a different situation. But we overcome it, and I think what we were able to learn and the legacy and the great love, professionality of what he was putting in his work was transmitted to us. And despite it was a difficult moment, it was also a moment that showed the people how much we wanted to continue and how much we could increase also the international background and visibility of Damiani. In fact, in the last 20 years, the third generation, which I represent with my brothers, made the company much more international. It's still a family company, but we have more than 70 stores all over the world, flagship stores, and we are sold in more than 2,500 independent retailer stores all over the world, and then also in department stores. That's a little bit my story.
Grazie. Thank you, Silvia. And Deborah?
When I joined my company, the first challenge I think was that I was very young because I was 24 years old, and the second was that I was a woman. Fortunately, not for the family, because in that period, in my generation, there were a lot of women, and so I had the problem to face male relatives. But the real challenge was to face, to have a credibility and to face the male employees, the male managers that I have in the company. And fortunately, I've overcome this challenge with what taught to me my father, and that is he taught me to be very modest, very humble, and especially to be the first to enter the company and the last to exit, to gain my credibility in this way, and with the right clothing too, because the appearance is another very important thing for women in business.
Yeah, and in this case, so I have a question: how did you build your leadership style? Because yes, it's very international brands you're working for, and so
We can't hear you.
I don't hear you, sorry.
better like this. I'm close to micro now.
Yeah.
So, and I want to ask you, repeat, no problem, how you build your leadership style. So how you arrived to the point of your own style of management, as well as it's important to understand how did you go about gaining respect? Because yes, it's very challenging time you've been facing. So please share your experience for a new generation to learn from you. Sasha?
I try to treat people like I would like to be treated. And I think this is a starting point. Then I try to listen, to be open-minded, to be empathic, but also to be firm and strict, on the delivery times and the objects. But most of it, I've tried to be humble and to make understand that we are going to be working together on a daily basis as a dedicated partner, and that it's important to show that we're committed and we're here to work. And the image, it's true, it's very important. As was mentioning Deborah, Silvia, the appearance is also something important, but you need to stay yourself, you need to adapt to the situation and the environment. But most of all, you need to share your values and share the fact that we're all here to work and to make, a brand greater and people better. So
I have a very similar way of dealing with the work than Sasha, and I believe in kindness. I think that it's something that is very much also in the way I am. So it would be crazy to try to have a leadership, like a strong leadership, like the people which wants to show their strength in a very arrogant way, which I never liked. Of course, then when it comes to something which has to be delivered in a certain time or in a certain way, then, like everybody else, I can also sometimes lose my temper. But I generally always apologize for that because I believe, excuse me, it was a moment, and the people understand that it's not done in a bad way. But you know, I have, in comparison maybe to other women in other managing positioning. In managing position, I have a very creative position. So from a creative position, you can be also more emotional. So in this case, I can be more myself, and to me, in comparison maybe to the history of work, like for Deborah, it's a completely different situation because I'm not a CEO. It's a different kind of role.
It's true. I agree. It's true. But it's true that for Deborah, it's a different story. It's true.
No, it's quite similar for me too. But I think that for a woman leader, there are 3 keywords, and that is knowledge, because I think that you must study a lot, as much as you can, before join a company or a business position. And the second, passion, because you must love very, very much your job, because your life must be happy too. And the sacrifice, you must know at the beginning and forever that without any sacrifice you can reach nothing. So I think that if you have all these 3 characteristics, qualities, you can face everything. There is no prejudice, no discrimination that you can face.
Fantastic. And so another, that's I do agree with all of you, this definitely. And as a heritage brands, all of you, what is your strategy to remaining relevant and staying ahead of each of your industry? So maybe you can share with our attendees.
Okay. Well, now, with Borsalino, one of the most important challenges today that we are facing is to be visible and attractive to the younger generation, the future clients. And we need to adapt to their communication tools, and this is a very important thing. It's all about digitalization today. Interesting as well is the fact that nowadays, through the social media, a brand is in contact directly with the consumers and its final community, which was not the case before. So this implies that the tone, the format has evolved, and we need to adapt also this. Everything is quicker, it's much more versatile, but being a small structure at Borsalino, we have a very quick decision process, which helps us to be very agile and reactive towards the needs and the understanding of the community. What's interesting with Borsalino as well is that for many decades, people were buying hats because they needed it to protect themselves in the winter for rain or snow or cold, or during the summer with the straw hats for the heat or the sun. This today is less relevant. So one of the biggest challenges is to change the buying attitude from the I need it into oh, I want it, and make it really an object of desire. And wearing a hat today, it's a way to finalize your look, to style. It's a way to express your personality. It's a statement today, which is also true, like for Omega. When I was working at Omega, it was the same kind of meaning, because today nobody needs really a watch. We have phones and things, and it's everywhere. So buying a watch was really as a jewelry, it was really because you wanted it. So these experiences are pretty similar.
Grazie.
Well,
jewelry.
Well, talking about Damiani, and then maybe we can talk also about Venini. There are 2 different realities. Let's say, but they have something in common, which is, the strong Italian heritage and craftsmanship, as well as Borsalino. What I wanted to tell is what is very particular about Damiani is that we are the only Italian jewelry brand which is internationally known that is still completely owned by the family of the founder. This is something really unique in the jewelry world nowadays. And at the same time, we are the only Italian company with that international recognition. I mean, that the people know, the awareness of the Damiani brand is very big also outside our country, Italy, even if it's still a very family company, which is still giving attention to the client like a boutique. So we try really to be unique in this sense. A lot of the importance of the quality, the craftsmanship, of course, the passion that we put in our job, and also the way we deal with our important clients. The important clients even know myself and my brothers personally. They want to buy from us. They want also something custom made for them that we can still give. And it's something that in the jewelry is getting less and less possible. That make us in a situation to give something special to the consumer that is looking for something that we can offer. For Venini, the story is not very different in a sense that that's why probably we decided also to buy this Venetian glass company. You probably know that the artisan are called maestro. So you are talking about a maestro in the glass, so a glass maestro or master, and you talk about a maestro orafo, so a goldsmith, which is really a maestro. In this sense, they are both two words where it is recognized the great knowledge of working with hands, that is also with passion and heart, and this is very similar. Venini was founded nearly 100 years ago, also in 1921. Next year we have our 100th anniversary, and since the beginning has been renowned for working with the most important designers in the world. They always wanted to make something new, to improve, to go on, to be innovative. And this is something that Damiani is also doing. So we believe in tradition, but always also in innovation.
Grazie. Deborah?
For me, I can say that Freccia Azzurra, our core brand, has a very long history. And it is really rooted to our consumer memories. And so I think that the biggest challenge is to really completely innovate the brand, but maintaining in the perception of consumer the same identity, the same image. And so this is a work very, very hard to do. It's not easy. Like Coca-Cola, for example, if you today can put near the actual bottle, the old bottle, you can see that they are very different, but the perception of consumer don't relieve it. So it's quite the same, but Freccia Azzurra naturally is not so big that Coca-Cola. I like, not yet. That's exactly, not yet. And the second important thing is for me, the high quality, to maintain a high quality of products, and even the third, even the eye must have its part, and it is in fact, for this reason, in this last year we have completely redesigned our packaging of the bottle, and this is a very important thing too. The second important thing is the quality. To have or maintain a high quality sure is very important, and for us the Freccia Azzurra perfume is the main attribute, and so every year we do a lot of a lot of research about our consumer taste in order to add new variants of perfume to our range, to our basic range. And so this is very important. And important is another thing that the eye must have an important role, and that is in these last years we have totally redesigned our packaging for this reason, to give a new products, an innovation.
Fantastic. And we see we have a lot of new generation women who is watching us as well.
Could you
speak louder, please?
Unfortunately.
So we have a lot of attendees as a young generation, and I would like to ask your advice. Can you please give advice of young generation of women? So,
advice for generation women, but also for the actual generation, if I can say so. I think that as women,
let's say for all women who is watching us.
No, but as women in our workplace, it's very fundamental and important that we support each other. We need to improve daily, all the day, the way we work together. And we need to continue to do better and to help those who will come after us. And you know, our grandmothers, they initiate the path of the women empowerment. Our mothers, they showed us the way, they made it wider. And I think it's our responsibility to continue this route of the women empowerment step by step, day by day, and make it easier for the future generation of women. Advice would be to stay yourself, adapt to the environment, trust in yourself and the dreams, and do everything you can to achieve your goals, but with the respect of others. So that would be an advice.
Well, I do agree with what Sasha was saying, and I really believe in the importance of teamwork with other women. And we should really do, especially when you have the privilege, like we have, to work in a certain position in a company, to acknowledge, also sometimes to discover the strength or the possibility of a woman to express herself and help her to really develop her potential. Because if I can give a suggestion to young women, is exactly like you said before, really believe in yourself and be yourself. And really try to fulfill your dreams being yourself, because that's the best way to really perform a better job and at the same time to be satisfied. So a person which is you know, in a way fulfilled, then can definitely give best results for herself personally first, and then also for the company she's working for.
Deborah?
To younger generation of women, I can suggest to study as much as they can, because knowledge is a very, very important thing. And these are the things I suggest to my daughter, who is joining the company this year. And the second, I think, is the passion for the job, the real passion to make free your passion to live. And the third and last, the sacrifice, to be prepared to the sacrifice, because nothing arrives without a sacrifice, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with all of you. That's very important. I
would like to add one thing, because when Deborah was saying what she told her daughter, it just came to my mind. I would like to add this, because I have just one son. And also one thing we can do to help other women is how we educate them to respect us. So I think, you know, he's still young. He's a young gentleman. He's nearly 17, and I really see that his attitude is completely different from a generation, my generation, let's say, when I was at the same age, and that's very important too.
Okay, as all of you share.
There is also an education role towards future male generation.
That can change the situation.
It's true.
No, because sometimes, especially the women, let's say, when they become mother of men, sometimes they kind of, I think, unfortunately, used to be a kind of heritage thing, like they kind of be too sweet, too, in a way, just let things go. No, I noticed that they say many times, as Deborah said, to a girl, you immediately ask, you have to do this and this and that, maybe less to the man, like if it's already granted, that's absolutely not the case. So everybody is a person and has to do the best. This has nothing to do with the gender, but it's a matter of a personality and what that person wants to achieve in the respect of the others.
Yes.
Yeah, I do agree, because I have two kids, and one is a 14, which is a girl. It's one generation, which is huge gap between our generation and the teenager. And I have a son who is 2 years old, so I have a girl and boy, and this is another generation. So, and it's true that it's very different, female and male, on the way on how we teaching them, on the way how we are saying things. So, not because somebody's sweet or not, but education is really important as us as a mom. And so we mentioned female and male. We run through the advices to women, but we have also a lot of men I know who is listening us. And as us, as a women leaders, probably maybe we would like to give some tips, maybe not advices, but some tips how to collaborate with the women, how build relationship, because finally, it's all about being more success. Because if we collaborate together, we're more success than being alone. So maybe you can share your vision, ideas, or experience, Sasha.
Well, I mean, it's an advice not only for men, for everybody at this stage, and it's treat the people like you would like to be treated. And, you know, this is the base. And actually, this is what we learn in kindergarten. Because the first year of schools, we are taught how to behave with the people, be nice, be understanding, you know, work together, play together. So it's kind of coming back to the original education, the basic that we all received. And a message towards women, towards men, towards everybody is that just keep in mind, remember that differences can bring greater outcome.
Yeah, that's very important. I think if I have to give an advice to men in general, how to work with women is, first of all, to be a little more empathetic. Empathy is very important. And generally women are more, they feel empathy more than men. Or at least they show more empathy, because it doesn't mean that they don't feel, but they show it. And I think a woman needs that. One said, for instance, is acknowledge, for instance, like also the efforts and sometimes the sacrifice she does also to combine family and work and to be, you know, always present. This is already a lot. Already when something is in a way acknowledged, I think it gives a lot of strength to women. As Sasha said, differences are something that always brings more creativity. And let's say, how boring would be a world where everybody wants the same thing and everybody would be the same. You know, it would be the end of creativity. So I think that's the most important thing. Nobody is perfect, and also to accept the differences is a way also to be, you know, positive to life and to changes.
I agree. For me, I agree. Yeah, with you and with Sasha too, but especially because from this cooperation between men and women at work, I think that the output is very positive because from the combination of the male and female intelligence, I think that can put out very, very good results of job, and especially men must consider the brain of women, and it is go beyond the appearance, and think always that the conjunction of the two intelligences, male and female, will take to certainly to good results.
Thank you. And last question for this roundtable: just when people watching you are so passionate of what you are doing. Please, the question: what is motivate you? What is your key motivation, and what is motivate you?
No, my key motivation is for sure to achieve, to deliver, to create, to implement, and this is part of my personality and my energy. Now I must admit that to be part of this adventure with Borsalino, the relaunch, the internalization and everything, it's an everyday reward for me. And it's about, like was saying Deborah and Sylvia before, it's all about passion. And if you do the thing with passion and that you enjoy what you're doing, only good things can come out of it. So that's my motivation.
Well, my motivation is again passion for what I do. I really believe that, like Kitza was saying, beauty is a joy forever. And so if you have like the privilege, like I have, to work with beauty, because jewelry are beautiful things which start from the nature, so beautiful diamonds or anyway precious stones that then we together with the creativity of man we make in beautiful objects that, for me, I always like to say that the jewel most than any other items can identify your style, and it's like the precious detail that really emphasizes your kind of elegance, because it's something which you choose for a long time. So a jewel is not something just for one season. So when you choose a piece of jewelry, it has to tell you a lot about you, because you are gonna wear it probably for all your life, or you're gonna probably also be in a position also to give to the future generation. So all this makes me really willing to work and really to put all myself into it. Without creativity, I would not even exist. I need it. It's just air for me. And the same thing is for Venini. In this case, it's excellent for a home. They are beautiful vases or beautiful glass sculpture that are beautiful pieces with you can have in your house or in your office, something of beauty which also can touch your soul. For me, it's very important.
Nana, I think that today you are in front of three very lucky women because very, very lucky, because to be able to work with jewelry, with jewels, with perfumes, and with fashion, hat, and so it's a very big. We are very, very lucky, and for me, what motivates me in my job is. Sure, the great love that I have for my job, for which I have to thank my father, who was able to transmit me this great love and passion for what I do.
Yes, that's true, and unfortunately, I have to say that we limit our time, so 45 minutes. We're at the end of our round table, but it's true that it was, I think, one of the unique moments when I had three gorgeous women on stage to share experience, to share motivation tips and the leadership style. I would like to say thank you, all of you, to support us, to share your experience, to support new generation. And not only new generation and other people who are watching us, to stay together, to connect, to educate, and it's important the way what you say. Thank you so much. Thank you, and looking forward to see all of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And
Very
it
much.
was really a beautiful experience also for us to talk and also to have the chance also for us to be together today. It's beautiful that it gives us also the possibility since all this lockdown also to be not so near because we can't, but in the same room is already a lot. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
And
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations for what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.